Boston shot fakes the three, pulls up, and gets the bounce herself. Wheeler lobs it back. They look Boston's direction again. It's been a Boston beatdown here in the first.
It's just crazy to think about, like, my first 3 years, I was getting paid about $80,000, and now we're over $1 million.
This year, the WNBA signed a historic collective bargaining agreement that gave players the largest pay increase in sports history.
Players are now, for the first time in league history, set to make salaries of $1 million and above.
One of those players is Indiana Fever forward Aliyah Boston, who is in her 4th year in the league.
Boston rumbling all the way in.
The 24-year-old signed a $6.3 million 4-year deal with the team, one of the highest total salaries in the league.
Welcome to Indianapolis. Welcome to the home of the Fever.
I visited her at her home arena.
See, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
To find out how she's spending it.
Hey! Look at that, look at that, look at that.
I don't know if you know, you're now among the 1% highest paid women in America.
Wow. I didn't really know that. That's cool.
Do you feel like a millionaire?
I feel like I'm kind of the same. Like, the money comes in and I'm just like, well, I just do my regular day things. I don't really switch anything up. I feel like what was working before is still working now.
What was your first splurge?
Honestly, would you believe if I said I haven't splurged?
Nothing?
I mean, I'm not a big splurge girl. Like, I think back to even in college with NIL, like, I really saved my money. I mean, I bought my first car when I got to the league, and that was using my NIL money. And then even my first house, my down payment was NIL money. So I really haven't done anything crazy with it. It just comes in. I feel like the most is my mom probably killed me, so I'm on Amazon a lot more. I shop. Next day, Prime. Yes, I'll take it. Deliver it to the. So that, I mean, but I haven't really bought anything big yet.
Are there other little things you've done now that you have this salary and you don't have to sweat?
I mean, I 100% send my dog to doggy daycare every day. Last year, I would send him like twice a week, let him get some, but I'm like every day. We wake up, we go on our walk, we go to doggy daycare, I go to the gym, I pick him up after, and it's just like, yeah, you're going to doggy daycare.
So what about your tunnel fits? How much do you spend on those? Do you have a sponsor?
Yeah, so I got a stylist this year. So my first 3 years, I show up every day in sweats and a hoodie. Not that I just didn't want to dress up, but it was like, I was just here to hoop. But this year I do have a stylist, and honestly, the money's like pretty even. Like, I talked to my mom about it before, and I was like, okay, girl, so this is what we get to pick our own budget of how much we want to spend. So it all depends how I'm feeling.
I don't even know what does a stylist cost, including like buying clothes and everything, like a month?
I think everyone has their own fee, so it all depends on what you want. Like, they could have a flat rate of just what their price is now, and that can probably range from like $2,000 to, who knows, maybe like $5,000, $6,000, depending on what their expertise is and who they've styled before. And like, if you're doing designer, you're probably higher up. You're probably way more than where I am, thinking about how some shirts are like $2,000, a purse is like $5,000. That's not me. I just don't see the purpose of spending $5,000 on a purse. I just don't get it. I want to understand it. I do, and nothing against people that do, because I love it. I think it looks so cute in their pictures. I'm like, dang, that's a really cute purse. And then I go look up the price, and I'm like, it's not that cute.
So what's the most you've ever spent on a purse?
Probably like $500. And even that, I was like, ooh, is that too much?
I think one of the things I read was, at one point, I think it was your mom saw like a fancy car parked outside of
an apartment.
Yeah,
she did. So we were driving home, and it was like an apartment complex, but it was a Lexus. It was like a super nice, rimmed out. I still remember it, super silver. I was like, ooh, that car is so nice. And she's like, it is super nice, but look at where that super nice car is parked out of. It's not parked in front of their house. It's parked in front of an apartment to where they're paying rent to somebody else for, and now they're also paying their car loans maybe for it. That was like a lesson early on that I still remember clearly, which is kind of crazy. But that's just how my parents were. Like, anytime that they could show you an example of different ways on how you can make your life better and easier, they did it, which I appreciate. Sometimes I'd be like, Mom, everything does not have to be a lesson.
So what kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Buick Enclave, Jazzy. She was my first big purchase. People look at it and they're like, Aliyah, you make over $1 million in salary. Why don't you go buy a nice car? Because Jazzy does the job. And I have a house. And I pay my mortgage. And everything is paid on time. And Jazzy and I, we rock out. So I think it just goes back to seeing like what's important to you and like what you want. Some people like it. Some people have a house and they have a nice car. And they love to do both. And that's just like not what I want to do, but it doesn't take away from anyone that does that, because live your life. And I love when I drive by and I see people's nice car and like, that is nice. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to get that. I don't know when, but not right now.
So tell me a little bit about your investments. What do you like to invest in?
Yeah, so I mean, one, I've told you, like maxing out my 401k. I have a Roth IRA, like everything out, like retirement plan. Like that is my biggest thing, like knowing like what's important to you. And even for me, investing in Boston Legacy, for me, like that soccer team, like I'm like, I want other people, like young girls, to be able to grow up and say like, whoa, I want to be a professional athlete. I see that professional athletes get paid, and I feel like there's no better way than investing in women's sports as a female athlete. And so that's one of my most exciting investments that I have, because I'm like, I just want to continue to help empower the way that people have empowered us.
So of course your coach at South Carolina, Don Staley, is really known in part for winning, but also for insisting on women being paid what they're worth.
Yes.
What was, can you remember a lesson or a time you had with her when that really hit home to you, that message?
When you got into the NIL space, it was different. Like you didn't really know exactly what to do. You didn't really know who you should meet with, how you get in contact with these people. And she put us in contact with so many people and financial advisors that our parents could meet with. And that was the biggest thing. And she was just such an advocate for, listen, you need to build your brand the way you need to and get paid. Like before you get to league, start getting paid now.
A lot of people who are fans of this team are also fans of your teammate, Caitlin
Yes.
Clark. What have your guys' conversations been like about money?
Honestly, we don't talk about money.
Not at all.
No, not at all. I think there's really like no reason to talk about money, because I think one, when it comes to your salary, like everyone's salary can be found on Google. So that's number one. So if we want to know how much Taylor was making, like you could even Google it. We're built on just who we are as people and us being teammates. And so that's never been like a conversation, actually.
What did she say after the Epic deal?
She was like, congrats, make your money. And I was like, period. I was like, that's literally going to be you next year. Like,
yeah, that's right. Because you got a year of experience
exactly.
on her, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you mentioned a really good point, which is your salary is public. So
Yeah.
everybody knows how much you make. Is
Yeah.
that ever awkward?
Sometimes I think it is. I think that's the new part about it, is not just like teammates or like people that you compete against, but I think just people in the world in general.
Do you have people just asking you for money?
People don't just blatantly ask for money, but I think there's always, there's different ways that you can get asked in a sense. It's like, I feel like the friendships and relationships I have, it's like I get this one, you get the next one, like it doesn't really matter. And that's just who I have around me, which I think is important.
Yeah. You don't want to feel like a bank.
100%, because I am not. Aliyah Boston Bank of everything is closed to the public.
Is there anything you're saving up for? Like a big purchase?
Oh, well, I know I just bought my house, but I want to build my dream house. Growing up in the islands, it's a 3-bedroom. My sister and I, we shared a room. So when I got to the league, it was like, this was my first time having my own space, but I always knew like I wanted a house where my entire family can come over and we all have enough space. Everyone, if they're annoyed down here, they can go upstairs. And so in my house now, like I hosted Christmas my first year. It was kind of like, whoa, you're living what you wanted and what you've always dreamed of when it comes to like having a nice house, a nice place. And so I'm like, why not just double it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just make it like even bigger and even better? And so when I build my dream house, that is my thing right there. That is gonna have like ultimate, you can come over, you can hang out if you want, we'll have a space for you, but that's definitely my thing.